I accidentally muted our microphones instead of turning them on. We are live. Eric Anderson and Eddie the Asian Sensation. We just had our very first heads-up tournament, $700 buy-in with Chris and Brad.
Brad Bork and Chris
Lindsay.
Linz. Yeah, he said as long as you don't say
Lindsay?
Yeah.
All right.
Just for the record.
Say Lindsay.
So
we just had that tournament. Heads up, and we're going to go broadcast it now. We had some problems yesterday with Streamlabs acting up on us, so we are basically going to. It takes me 60 seconds to realize the lights aren't on.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna turn the lights on. We got all new lights. The remote control.
It's so dark.
Bink. Yeah, I came in here and I went, wow, why is it so dark? Oh yeah, click. And so then I turn on the lights, and then another 60 seconds later, I realize I don't have the table mic on, so we're going to be quiet for the first couple of hands. But basically, we had some problems yesterday with Streamlabs locking up on us, so we're going to broadcast this to troubleshoot any problems that we might have so that we don't have to troubleshoot in the middle of our big game at 5 o'clock tonight when we're playing 5-5-10.
Yep. With
Match the Stack. That's going to be a huge game. If you're not liking it yet, go like it. I'm going to right now. Oh, this is a great hand. Very first hand. Brad rivers a flush when Chris rivers trip jacks.
Interesting.
And Brad bets 100 on his flush draw. Chris makes it 400. Brad calls. Brad hits his flush and bets 1,000. And
Chris just folds.
How hard is it to fold 3 jacks there? I think it's difficult.
That's very tough.
Heads up, he's got 3 jacks, no kicker. The flush comes home, and it's for 10% of his stack.
Yeah.
He's a better player than I am. I'm not folding 3 jacks in a heads up.
Yeah,
match.
I would tank call heads up in that spot.
I would tank call.
Yeah, but
he's
I'm
a better man
than
than Chris, clearly.
Again, we're going to start this level off as level 1, 100 with 100 big blind ante. Okay, Chris Linz and Brad Bork. Now, I don't know Brad Bork out, I've seen him play some cash, but predominantly I've seen him in the tournament scene here in the DFW Metroplex here. Chris, I don't know him as a tournament player. I know he's played cash. He has been focusing on PLO lately.
Okay.
And so,
now he's only got 2 cards. That's got to be tough on him.
Yeah.
Did you delete the live stream link? Like the full-blown live stream link?
What do you mean?
It's not there.
It is.
Where? Show me. Click
Oh, for today's?
No, for right now. See how we're showing the max camera? I can make one quickly.
Maybe.
That's all right. That's
On
right.
accident?
No problem.
Maybe
No
on
problem. You
accident?
commentate on ace deuce versus ace 3, and I will modify this. I'm going to call this.
And again, Brad's going to make it 200 here. Just going to mint and click it heads up with a weak.
Go back
Pretty
to that.
standard defend by Chris. Now, both players turning 2 pair. Aces up. The 6 comes in play. So currently going to be a chop pot unless one of the others blows the other one off the hand. Again, 9 of diamonds doesn't change anything on this run out. Doesn't change anything specifically on this run out.
Did somebody just knock? I hope it's no. Okay.
Both are going to chop this pot. Again, this is a test stream. We've had some issues the past few days with some of our technical issues coming up, and we want to prevent that from happening. So I'm going to go ahead and just broadcast this, test it out. This is match 1 of the Heads Up tournament here at Poker House Dallas. If you're interested in playing Heads Up, $700 buy-in. Get you on a bracket tomorrow, next Saturday, next Sunday. Okay, we have Chris Linz heads up against Brad Bork. Again, a lot of the times you're going to be seeing a lot of limp calling strategy here.
Right.
Heads up. If you're going to raise pre-flop, you don't want to just do it with your strong hands. You want to do it with some garbage too. A lot of these like middling type hands like 7-8, 7-8 suited, 9-10, Jack-9. You can limp call those types of hands pre-flop in order to see a flop and play post-flop, play post-flop equity to kind of define ranges here. On this flop specifically, Chris flops open ender with a diamond in his hand. Brad Book currently with the best hand with just ace high. But a lot of cards on the turn improve Chris's equity. Does pick up the king of diamonds. Does pick up additional outs. Again, Brad currently still with the best hand with just ace high. And he jack 6, 8, 9 diamond.
There we go.
Chris Lynn's going to bet about half pot, 700 to about 1,400. Going to get the call. 2.8K in the pot. Brad looks like he checked in the dark. Chris rearing the best hand. May have some showdown value. May just check back here, or he may stab here. Just going to check back. Again, if Chris had totally missed the river in terms of his draws and whatnot, he could have triple barrel there, bluff, knowing that his draws missed after flopping up and then returning 8 high diamond draw.
Here's the bracket that we're playing in right now. It's designed for 32 players. We had our first 2 players today, and they will advance to the next level. Obviously, like any bracket that you see, basketball, you know, tournaments, whatever you want. So this is just what it looks like today, tomorrow, next Saturday, next Sunday. Get in here and sign up if you want to guarantee your spot.
Both players are going to check. See a river here. Only 200 in the pot. Oh, is the big blind? I thought the big blind ante was in play.
Yeah, that was a mistake on my part. I fixed it.
So it's not in play the first.
No,
first, okay,
it's
so
not in play at all.
Level 1, the big blind ante is not in play. It's just 100, 100.
That was my fault.
Jack 3 here, just going to fold. Chris did have some backdoor equity where he could have tried to peel and see the turn. Some turns that it would have improved. He had backdoor hearts, backdoor wheel draws. So again, just testing out today, testing out this stream. Gonna make sure we're squared up for our stream. That's gonna be starting at 5:45 p.m. It's gonna be our 5-5-10 match to stack. Got a lot of returning players here. King Jack offsuit. Brad's gonna make it 300. Chris just gonna fold. Suited there, he would call. Now playing heads up, there's a ton of different strategy. I was a tournament player for up till the end of last year. Kind of been focusing on cash. Taking a little break myself right now. But strategy a little different heads up. A lot of people just want to raise their good hands and limp with these marginal type hands, but you want to balance your play. You don't want to just like raise with your good hands. You also want to raise with your garbage, so it'll be a lot more difficult to play against. You'll be less exploitable as a player and quote unquote becoming more balanced. Neither player with much on this board. Chris with the best hand so far with Jack High, Brad Bork flopping some backdoor equity, turns backdoor gut shot, check, check on the turn. 4 of spades on the river. Chris with the best hand with just Jack High, going to take down the small pot. Again, we are in level 1, 100 small blind, 100 big blind. The big blind ante is not in play. We are on 15-minute levels.
10K starting stack.
10K starting stack.
Really good structure. This is better than our daily structures.
Yeah.
We've added the 2-3 and some other stuff later on.
March Madness bracket style heads up tournament.
And that's why they wanted to do it in March.
Chris Lynn's here with suited king. Look for him to open. Gonna make it 300. And Brad Bork probably not gonna defend. Yep. Again, this was recorded a few hours ago. We weren't intending to live stream the specific bracket, but opted to just record this specific.
We wanted to test stuff.
Yeah, I wanted to test stuff, make sure the graphics were good, make sure everything was squared up. Again, had some technical difficulties for our 5-10-25 live stream yesterday, so hopefully you're going to fix those issues today. Let us know what you think about these new graphics.
I love them.
Both checking pre-flop here. 10 high board. Brad with the best hand. Just overcard to the board. Both check flop. Ace of diamonds. See if someone's going to take a stab. Yeah, you would think, again, sometimes players are going to want to raise an ace pre-flop, heads up.
You know who the best heads-up player in the world is?
Like the very best?
The very best.
Doug Pope.
I don't know if I don't know his current. I would always put.
All right, you ready? Moneymaker, Negrano, or Ivy? Who do you think the best head? And they're 2-1.
I can see Negrano.
Yeah, that's it. You don't want to play heads up with Negrano.
I'd play heads up against anybody. That doesn't mean I'd win. Chris Lindsay here, King, Queen. Broadway cards going to make 300 pre-flop. Brad Borg, 9-5. Now, I wouldn't. Again, sometimes you'd want to raise those garbage type pins to stay balanced. Now, it doesn't mean you have the best hand or anything like that. But again, in order to stay balanced, to be unexploitable, you don't want to just be raising with your premium type hands. You
Makes it easy to play perfect against you.
Yeah, you actually want to mix in some raising with some like garbage type hands that you know that are not going to hit well post flop. So, you know, I've played heads up. If I played shorthanded, sometimes I'll raise, sometimes I'll 3-bet with a hand like 9-3 offsuit. Not often. You know, you can't do it all. Can't do it on a regular basis because people aren't going to know what you're doing. But it's okay to mix in those types of raises, 3-bets with your garbage type hand. So got David Morgan in the chat saying, "Let's go, Chris." Queen high board. Chris currently with the best hand, king high. Check on the flop. 10 of spades gives Brad Bork open-ended now. Again, Chris with just a gutter to a straight. Don't look for bad to, to fold. Actually, he's going to min-click it.
Yeah. I like it.
Strategic-wise, you don't technically see min-clicks on a regular basis.
That might be a product of them being so short stacked.
Yeah, and
I mean, they've still got 100 blinds, 100 big blinds, but you know, typically in a tournament situation or in a cash game rather, when you have thousands of big blinds,
right,
you don't main click as much.
Yeah, his record is, you wouldn't even believe it.
Has he been playing other people?
He don't miss one. Any big heads up over 5,000, he'll be there every time. He will.
He got like.
Oh, yeah. I just saw the picture from Tiny.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Hey, 20 viewers in the chat. Thanks for tuning in.
Let's go.
Special stream just for the next hour and a half or so. We do have a big 5-5-10 cash stream, so definitely tune into that. Get the notification bells, like and subscribe. We are testing this software, testing the new graphics after having some issues yesterday. All right, here both players backdoor club draw. Brad top pair, Chris open-ended. Brad's going to lead the flop, going to bet 200 to pot of 600, 1/3 pot. Is he coming for a raise here? Yep, going to come in for a raise, going to make it 700, 800, 4x. I like the sizing here by Chris. It'd be a pretty auto call here after flopping top pair, backdoor clubs for Brad. Jack of clubs. Does give Chris the best hand, but both players have clubs now. Chris is going to check back here. He does flop. I'm sorry, he turns a straight. The bottom end of the straight.
This is stupid.
Going to check back. Chris probably going to, opting not to bet here to try to get some potential value out. Maybe an 8 top pair.
There's clubs on the board also.
Yeah. So,
Paired board pairs, clubs come home, the queen beats you. A lot of stuff he doesn't like about that river card.
yeah, he does turn the bottom end of the straight. Turns a flush out, obviously on that turn.
I thought he flopped the straight.
No, he had Jack 7. Oh, wait, maybe he did flop the straight.
Yeah, he flopped it.
8, 9, 10. You're right. Sorry about that.
That's why that was such a bad river for him, or turn for him.
Right. Starting stack 10K. Again, 10-minute blinds,
15.
15-minute blinds.
10K starting stack.
Blinds have gone up 100, 200. Does the big blind ante come into effect?
No, never.
So there's no big blind ante?
Nope.
Okay.
There accidentally was because I set up the computer wrong on my side, but like in hand 3, I figured it out.
Yeah. Player's going to check this flop. Chris turning trips now. Brad with nothing. Going to bet small, going to bet pot. Going to take down this pot. Again, this is match 1 of the Poker House Dallas Heads Up Tournament. Appreciate you viewers tuning in to this test stream. This actually did go on, so this is actual play. But again, more of a test stream to kind of see.
Yeah, we weren't
sure.
planning on broadcasting it. We were just planning on hosting it.
Ted 9 offsuit. Okay. No players going to go for anything there.
You must have bad.
Yeah, Chris just opened folds.
You probably ran out.
Chris here with the 7 deuce offsuit. Brad suited queen could raise that hand if you wanted to. Okay to just call, realize some post flop equity. Flop ace, 8-8 ace, rainbow board. Brad with the best hand. I agree. I think Ivy's way better than D-Negs, especially after his play. He's kind of been on the comeback trail after taking some time off.
Ivy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Been crushing at WSOP this past summer. Made a final table. I think he finished second in like one of the high roller tournaments, a 50K or 100K.
Commentator? It's live.
And then been doing really, really, really well. The Triton stuff overseas. Knock in the chat. What's going on, Knock? Again, this is a test stream, making sure the new graphics are good to go. Had some technical difficulties yesterday. Have a big 5-5-10 stream coming up here in a few hours. Want to make sure things are squared away on our end here. There's no guarantee on this tournament, correct?
There's no guarantee.
Okay.
And I put out like the payout with a full bracket will be 10K on top,
Gotcha.
5K for second, and third place will be 2 and 2. But obviously, if we have 16 people show up instead of 32, it's going to be half of that.
All right. Again, both players starting this heads-up tournament with 10K. Did you crop this?
I cropped no.
Okay.
No, this is going to be. We actually lose the last 30 seconds because I hit end record before the.
I gotcha.
Before the stream, before the delay was done, so we're going to miss the last 30 seconds of the last hand.
Suited Gabber for Brad here.
Played a lot of tough
Nice little flop for him.
I like
Flops a
it.
gutter, backdoor diamonds.
He does have the best hand with 8 high right now.
Yeah. flops a ton of equity. Flops a lot of backdoor equity.
So how much heads up play do you have? How much heads up experience?
Tournament or cash?
Well,
I guess heads up just in general.
tournament specifically
No,
because
not too many. I mean, I've had some on final tables where I've either won the
right,
tournament
where
for
you've
second,
been heads up.
or I've been heads up. But I've done a lot of cash heads up.
No, it's just he knows.
So
See, that's a different animal because you can make a mistake and buy back in.
yeah.
Yeah.
But again, strategic-wise, I like playing. I'd rather play like 6 max or short-handed
yeah.
because a lot of you can be a little wider with your ranges.
You can be wider without being forced to play every hand, in my opinion.
Right. And also, like I said, a lot of people just want to like play. A lot of inexperienced players will limp a lot, will fold a lot. You know, I'm not going to just raise aces. I'll raise a hand at like 9-3 offsuit.
Right.
Jack 4
I don't know
offsuit.
that I'll do 9-3.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Jack
I'll mix
4.
it in if I feel it.
yeah.
Just if I'm feeling it.
I mean, I do the 4-5. I mean, player dependent. I
Right.
might get out of line without even looking at my cards, but I'd like to have something to fall back on if I get called.
And a lot of times, like, you know, a lot of players will heads up. They'll raise like Queen 10. You can limp call a raise with the Queen 10 offsuit.
It's strong enough.
Yeah, 7-8 offsuit, like Jack 9 offsuit. Those like mediocre hands, marginal type hands. You can implement like a limp call strategy heads up. But again, you don't want to just be raising with your premium type hand. You're going to want to do it periodically with what I call garbage hands. So Brad with the best hand here, just going to flop Jack high on an ace, 9-10 board, 2 clubs. And a bet fold by Brad and Chris respectively.
Did we advertise today's tournament yet, or today's
Live stream?
live stream yet?
I did not. I actually deleted it because
Okay.
you can add it. I deleted it because I thought we were. Yeah. So
We were cleaning up.
yeah. So if you want to add the scene,
All right.
it's under the external hard drive.
I'll find it.
YouTube thumbnails.
Call Saturday?
I don't think I've played much games.
Again, Brad Bork, more of a tournament guy,
For either one of us.
MTT type guy.
Yeah.
Low to high stakes buy-in. You know, you'll see him at the $100 tournaments. You'll see him at $1,000 tournaments. Has lots of experience in that all across the DFW. Seen up in Choctaw as well. Down there at TCH here. Play at Shuffle. Chris, again, I'm not familiar with him on the tournament side. I know he's a cash player predominantly, and lately, after talking with him post this bracket, he's been focusing more on PLO as of late. The 1-2 PLO down at TCH and the 5-5 PLO at down there as well. So he had contacted me. It was funny because he's gonna go back. He contacted me and said, "Hey, how do I get to play the heads up tournament?" I was like, "Get in contact with Eric," and I was driving. And so like 30 minutes, he's like, "Give me the number." I was like, "Oh, I was driving, my bad. I'll get it to you." So I had to wait till I actually stopped. So he was really interested in playing. Obviously, he did take his shot here for this.
To expand on that story that I did not know.
Yeah.
He sent me a text and he says, "Hey, I want to play that heads up tournament." I said,
Was it like at
"Awesome."
midnight that night?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
I
must
just
have-
I give him a thumbs up. All right, great. You want to play? And
You didn't
like,
know who it was?
No, I knew who he was,
Okay.
but he was just like, I thought he was just like pumped up about it and decided to send me a text. "Hey, I'm going to play that." I'm like, "All right." And
Brad turning open-ended here.
just a couple
Take
days
it
ago,
down.
he
Yeah.
goes, "What time do I play?" And I'm like, "Well, did you sign up?" He goes, "Yeah, with you." And I went, "Oh."
Oh, okay.
Okay, I thought you were just like jacked up to play. I didn't realize you were, wanting me to sign you up. Here's tonight. We have a Sinister Saturday.
Yeah,
5-5-10 match to stack. Heck of a lineup. We got some new faces that you won't see.
Yep, so I'll go through that list right now. Tonight's lineup is going to be Moneymaker, Danny Marks, Paul Gator, Tucson, Habib, OFC, J-Rock, Kyle Wingard, going to make his live stream debut at 5-5-10. Played our 1-2-1-3. We're going to take a shot at this 5-5-10. Got Fabi, Dr. Fabi, going to be known as Faker today. ER Doctor, going to take his shot at 5-5-10 as well. And Jason, his name for the stream, Jason's name on the stream is, I thought it said Crollo Lucifer. I was like, he's like, it's Lucifer. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. He's like, that's his online stream room.
Okay.
So he's going to be known as Crollo Lucifer, not Lucifer. Because I was like, that's kind of borderline. And he's like,
Offensive.
yeah.
Ooh, Chris Rivers is straight.
See if he can get any value from that River 6.
So Brad flops an open ender. Chris bets the whole way, and Rivers the gut shot, and it gives Brad a pair.
Yeah.
The flush is out there, so he's not even going to think about calling with third pair.
Yeah, maybe targeting like a 10 or jack specifically. That's about 1,500 into 1,800. It's about 80% pot. Not a call there. Again, thanks for tuning in. Definitely going to be broadcasting live once it gets down to the final four. There were no initial intentions of streaming this specific match. But again, after having those tech difficulties, see if we can tidy things up here. Again, blinds 100, 200. The big blind Andy is not in effect at all. Chris gonna make it 600 with queen 5 offsuit. Again, if you're gonna raise, you wanna raise with these types of hands on occasion. It's gonna barrel here. Look for Brad to probably peel one straight after flopping bottom pair. Queen, it hits Chris. Look for Chris to barrel here. See what sizing is gonna use. 1.2 half pot. Yeah, gonna go half pot, gonna get a snap full here by Brad. And again, those of you new to tournament play, as with cash, you know, you bet for 3 different reasons. You bet for value, you bet to deny equity, and you bet as a bluff. And so when I talk about that on streams, depending on what you're trying to accomplish, you need to size your bets according to one of those 3, based off what you're trying to do. If you're trying to bet as a bluff, size accordingly. If you're going to bet for value against a sticky player, you could probably size up and target a certain hand holding that he may have, certain range of hands that he may have based off board texture. You're going to bet to deny equity, same thing. Chris here, or Brad here, flopping top pair. Chris with bottom pair here. Jack of clubs, brings in some straight draw, secondary backdoor club draw. Chris bets, Brad bet, Chris checks, Brad bets, fold from Chris. Gerardo, I don't know. In terms of tournaments here at Poker House, I don't, it's a bracket of 32, yeah, register now. That's Chris here, who is actually the one playing. So Chris, I don't know too much about the tournament, so I haven't been really focusing. If you have a live stream question, I can answer it, but here's the guy back in the booth that can answer your heads up question. Gerardo, is this
How
the
many
same
people
Gerardo?
are in heads up? 2.
Gerardo, is this the same Gerardo that came in as an alternate last night for the 5, 10, 25 in seat 9?
So we've got 7 people signed up for different days because they wanted to make sure they had a seat. I had 2 fears. One of my fears was 10 people were going to come sign up today and we wouldn't have spots for them. And my other fear was nobody was going to show up and we would just sit here with, you know, a messed up bracket. And we did not have 10 people come in today. We had Brad and Chris who had pre-registered. Chris does hit the nuts on the river. Brad has no part of this. He's going to bluff at it. I guess it's not the nuts. It's a nut flush. There is a possible full house out there and quads, but he had the nut flush. So the winner of this will advance to the next bracket. I was hoping to get 8 people in here and have them advance the way a standard heads-up bracket does, like this, Bink. But since we only had the 2 players, the player who wins will advance to next Sunday and already have their first bracket finished, or their first round of the bracket finished. So I think that's what we're going to do, depending on how many players we have. If we do get more players, we'll be able to fill them in properly. Like if tomorrow, let's say we get 12 players, we can have enough brackets, so it'll be better. I know I've talked to a few people who want to play, but they haven't signed up yet. The 10K prize, the 10K first place prize was not enough to get people to invest $700 in the tournament. Brad with the best hand with just 10 high.
No, he's a pocket pair of twos.
Oh, he paired his deuce. I didn't even see that. He paired twos and 10 higher, the same thing on that board.
Yeah, all things considered.
Against the 9-4.
And Chris now with a nice little, small little chip lead, but a lot of things can happen heads up.
Yeah, he did. Brad tried to bluff on that last hand when the board paired, but Chris had the nut flush. Brad fired 1,000 at it, and Brad was picked off by Chris. Brad with pocket tens. Chris with the deuce 6. How often do you get a pocket pair?
Not often enough for me. You get a raise, probably fold from Chris.
Minimum makes it 800. I guess that's not minimum. We're at 2 and 3. I forgot we have a 2 and 3 level.
Yeah, we usually don't have a 2-3 level unless it's like a multi-flight tournament.
Right. In our standard nightlies, we skip the 2-3, go right from 1-2 to 2-4.
Okay, 1-2 to 2-4, 4-8. Do you go to 4?
No, we got 3-6 in there.
Oh, 3-6 and 5-1. 500 1K.
3-6, 4-8, and then 5-1.
Okay.
It's a decent structure, but this one is just better.
All right, Chris here with the suited ace.
You know, if I'm gonna charge $700, I'm gonna let you play for a while.
All right. For a raise here with Chris with the suited ace.
And the next time the winner of this, the second round of the tournaments, you bring your chips with you, so they'll have 20,000 chips, and you'll start at 100, 200.
Oh, sorry, start back over?
Not over, not 1-1. You start at 1-2.
Okay.
And then the third round will start at 2-4 with 40,000. So
I got you.
Bring your chips with you, but then you skip a level, so you start with 100 big blinds.
I got you. That makes sense.
But it doesn't like progressively go as fast because we're just starting a couple levels into it.
Gonna get a raise from Brad here. King 7 offsuit. Chris just gonna make the fold with deuce 3 offsuit.
It's got the dirty diaper.
Got the dirty diaper. All right, if you're interested in playing in any of our streams, I'm gonna post a link to it. It was actually funny because I posted the link for players that want to play the live stream,
Yeah.
and Markwee and Tiny were like, "Hey, I'll fill it out." I'm like, "Bro, you have my number. Just text me.
Just call me.
Just call or text me."
It actually is nice for them to fill it out. Then
Yeah.
we have it on a spreadsheet that we can go look at.
So yeah, I thought Mark was trolling me when he said he was going to fill it out, and I went back and looked.
He filled it out.
He filled it out. Tiny filled it out as well. So
Tiny's in the chat right now.
Tiny in the chat in Nashville.
Do you guys enjoy watching a heads up stream?
Yeah. What about some sit and goes? You know, we've been getting some requests for some sit and goes. All right, gonna post this poll in chat. All heart board. Chris with the ace of hearts with the best hand currently. Brad with a gutter to a straight.
I just had a great idea.
He's gonna bet out here with his gutter. Let's see if Chris is gonna come back here with a raise or just gonna call, try to realize his equity. He's got 2 more streets. Gonna bet 800 into a pot of 1.6. Gonna bet about half pot here. Come up with a great idea. What is it while he's tanking?
All right. I'll do it while he's shuffling. It's okay. Because I need to formulate it.
I gotcha.
I need to formulate it in my head.
Again, Eddie, the Asian sensation in the booth, along with Senor Eric, the almighty chop block Anderson. Not surprised to get a raise there.
Let's say we do this.
Okay.
So this is a $700 tournament.
Got it.
I had multiple people tell me that's just a little too much. If
Right.
you made it 300, I could play. Mm-hmm. Let's do this. Make it 350.
Okay.
Let's say you and I played a 350 tournament, heads up tournament,
I would play against you heads up 350.
and you win.
specifically.
Yeah. let's say
You specifically.
For argument's sake, hypothetically, let's say you win. You would advance into the bracket with the $700.
Interesting.
And then you could continue. Now, basically what I'm doing is I'm extending the bracket out. Instead of an 8-player bracket, it's like a 16-player bracket. Brad already won his first round. Chris already won his first round. Now they're playing in the $700 bracket. And the next bracket's the $1,400 bracket as it advances.
Interesting. All right, here, Brad flopping top pair. Chris with bottom pair. Got some backdoor equity, some backdoor straights. Ace of hearts. Both players with a club, or ace of clubs, excuse me. Both players with the clubs and no one with 2 clubs in their hand. Brad with the lion's share of the equity here. Can go check on the turn after the ace hits. I wouldn't put anybody with an ace. Would have probably seen someone bet pre-flop with an ace in their hand. Not all the time. Again, you can.
Yeah, Brad said that's a wet board. He didn't like it at all. Second pairs just can't be too excited with. So Tiny is saying he's commenting on the new skin, thinking that might have been what gave us problems. And he asks, I thought we dropped this skin. We actually, I'm still testing because I'm not sure where the problem was. So
He's not
I put
listening.
the skin back on, but everybody else who's watching will get the answer. So I put this skin back on, which I really love this skin. I love the graphics. And everything worked perfectly for the hour and a half that we streamed.
We'll find out at 5-5-10. All right, Sam, fill out.
So if we did like a 130 sit and go, like not a heads up sit and go, like a full ring sit and go to get into a heads up tournament, that kind of defeats the purpose.
Oh, did he actually say?
Sam's saying let's play a 130 or 240 sit and go.
I mean, I played a bunch of sit and goes when I was in Vegas.
Right.
Like their nightlies.
I'm just thinking if you want to play a heads up sit and go, I would make it heads up.
I don't think he's talking about a heads up sit and go.
Oh,
I think
just let's stream a sit and go.
I think a full ring sit and go.
To advance.
No. I think
Just to play.
Just a sit and go.
Just to stream. I 100% will do that.
Right.
If you guys want to do that.
Sam, am I correct that you're not necessarily for a sit and go heads up?
You're not talking about
Just a full ring
extending the bracket.
I like playing this like a full ring sit and go with like a last longer. So that's how when I was in Vegas during WSOP and I wasn't like, I took a break. I'd either go play cash out, go play a sit and go, a quick sit and go, and it'd be like $100 buy and winner takes all, or when it gets heads up they'll chop, and then we'll do.
And then you do a last longer with some of the people at the table.
Yeah, whoever
who
wants
wanted to play a bit deeper.
Yeah, that's what I thought, Sam. What about doing again the last longer wouldn't? You could do a last longer with the players at the table. Would you do a last longer?
How many times am I going to get this?
He's got the 10s again.
Yeah.
So
Chris could have seen a turn there. There are some turn cards that improved his equity position. But just to fold there.
One thing about let's say you're playing $100 sit and go, and there's 9 of us sitting there, and then you and I go, hey, the $100 doesn't really float my boat. Let's make it, $500 between you and I.
Yeah, you can do that.
Right?
I've done it
so
before.
we do that now with somebody you don't know, and he gets people to dump chips to him.
So this past summer was my first go around playing a full series.
Yeah.
I played some sit and goes, made money and won whatever, but I was warned by some players to be careful on these sit and goes because these guys
do exactly that.
do exactly where they chip dump. So
because you jump into a $100 sit and go and then do a $1,000 last longer, and you buy 3 seats for $300. Now you got a 3-to-1 chance of winning that 1,000 on the side.
So I mean, like let's say it was a $200 sit and go, we'd do like a $50 last.
Oh, so that's not a big deal. I don't care about that.
But I was warned about chip dumping at WSOP, so I was there very.
Yeah, if you want to waste $600 to get my $50 last longer, more power to you.
Chris here flopping open-ended. Brad with the best hand with just queen high. Jack of diamonds on the turn brings in some additional outs. Not any outs to any player.
Possibly outs.
Yeah, possible outs. Brings in a backdoor diamond draw. Wheel draws out there. Wheel draw completes if anybody has an ace or a 6. Chris does get there with the 6.
6-7.
Gets there with the open-ender.
He's got the nuts.
Let's see
He's
what
hoping Brad has a 6 or an ace.
And
Brad just has queen.
Yeah. Value type bet there on the river. Got 30 viewers in the chat. If you're interested in playing our live streams, I just posted a Google Doc there. Fill it out. I will contact you. I've already actually contacted everybody that's filled it out today. I got one new guy that's going to come play Monday stream.
Right on.
So,
if you're interested in playing the $700 heads-up tournament tomorrow, but you want to get in for $350, show up about 10 a.m. and we'll get a couple of guys like verify with me first. If I get one guy show up, that'd be silly. But let me know. If I get a couple of guys that want to play that, we will.
Like a little satty to the sitting go?
Exactly.
A satty to the heads up. Interesting concept.
I like it. Just a heads up satellite where you would advance.
Both players are just going to limp into this pot. 2 queens, 1 8, 2 hearts. No one with much of anything. Chris with the best hand, 10 high. 3 of diamonds brings in backdoor diamonds. Brad with the only diamond, but no player with 2 diamonds. Yeah, I used to play sit and goes all the time online.
Brad's going to let it go. So Sam says, I'd love to see the sit and go option on Poker Atlas waitlist
Ultimate
registration.
bet, yeah.
We had that. Actually, the day that you were commentating on it, I went out there and put it on the Poker Atlas and got 0 people interested in it.
Why don't we pimp it out?
We definitely could.
Pimp it out on social media.
Yeah,
And we can make it whatever dollar amount, because like the one thing I liked about WSOP sitting goes in the evening, now they had them throughout the day. It's
Right.
just like as they fill, they'll play it.
right.
But they had multiple buy-in levels, anywhere from like 130, I don't remember the price, up to like $800.
We could do that. We definitely could do that. Make it a $100 one. Make it a.
Again, winner take all.
Well, you could do whatever you want. At 6 max, you do winner take all. If I had a full ring, I like to pay like 70-30. But they can always chop it when they get down there, do whatever they want. We could just advertise it as winner take all, and then they could chop whatever they want.
Yeah.
I like that too.
Chris flopping middle pair here. Brad
I agree, Sam. We'll keep trying that.
6 of hearts doesn't change too much on this board. Chris with the best hand here. 1,000 in the pretty big sized bet
Brad's
here.
just going to
80%.
bluff at it, representing that ace. How hard is it to call with second pair? Very hard. Chris lets it go. Good bet, Brad. Good bet.
Now, well, the thing with the heads up, yeah. You could,
The stats are very skewed because you're seeing every hand.
right.
You know, so your VPIP's going to be like 80%. If you're folding,
Poker House should do like a weekly, like 300 heads up or something.
hey, that's a great idea, Chris.
I'm telling you, they should do a weekly sit and go.
It's so funny. Nobody ever gets.
A $300 sit and go, or a $300. It'd be the reason I think it'd be hard to do a weekly heads up, because you're going to have the dealers in order to do it.
Right, that's the problem
that's
we
the
have.
issue.
We actually lock Ruben in here because we were short dealers this morning. We had so many tables going at
I like the idea. I just don't know if it's economically.
implementation.
Yeah.
Like if
From
we
an
just
execution standpoint,
Yeah.
it makes it a little more
the
difficult.
heads up, yeah.
But if you did like we could promote like a next Saturday sit and go from like.
We could actually. We don't have to do it next. We could do it today.
A sit
If
and
you,
go?
yeah. If they, I mean,
It's gonna be tough today. Saturdays is tough with the dealers, and then the turn.
and we got the $300 tournament going on right
and
now.
then our big cash
And the
game.
big yeah.
For the record, I think
Not
it's a great
against
idea.
it. Not against it.
By no means am I against it. I'm actually for sit and goes, but again, it's more of just from a
Logistics.
logistics, implementation, execution. So
I wonder
like
if it would be best to just lock a dealer in
Yeah.
and let them get all the downs for that hand.
Yeah. Chris here rivering pair of aces.
Never had the worst hand.
Yeah, was always ahead. See what size he's gonna go here. Go 200, 300. Yeah, half pot. It's gonna be a snap fold. Yeah.
And he's like, I got 10.
Brad
Brad looked like something you just
You're never going to
stepped in
call
something.
with the 10 high. I mean,
He's
like, he could do something sick by like raising there, but 44 viewers in the chat. Again, testing this stream out if you're wondering what's going on. This heads-up tournament was not scheduled to be live stream. We had some technical difficulties yesterday with our 5-10-25 live stream.
And we wanted everything to be smooth tonight when we have our Sinister Saturday 5-5-10.
Nice little lineup. So that game's going to be going on. It's going to start in about 2.5 hours on your end. So subscribe to that. Get the notification bell when that goes live. So again, testing out the new graphics. So far, so good for this heads up.
It looks really good. I'm wondering if something was going in the background yesterday.
No, Monkey, you're in the lineup for Monday. Don't worry about it. All right. So
No, do you have the questionnaire for him to fill out?
no, you don't have to fill it out to play, but I just have to. my number is getting floated around DFW Poker Monkey. No, literally, I get texts multiple days a week. Hey, do you have a seat for X? A, who did you get my number from? And B, who are you? So I'm just, a lot of players want to know.
For the record, I've never given out your number.
You can. I don't care.
I don't.
Yeah. So Chris here turning 2 pair.
Brad's got bottom pair. He needs a queen or a 5.
Half pot here. That's one of those neutral size bets
I like
for
it.
value.
I like Brad's call too. I mean, you can't just fold every time you have a pair. It's hard to make a pair.
Jack. It could want to call here. Yeah.
Now he loses to a 9 with a better kicker.
Yeah. Or a jack.
Or a jack, obviously.
Could you just check back here?
Yeah, I check back for value. I mean, I'm scared. Actually,
And not much worse.
Brad's not the type of guy to check raise you, so I think my 9 is good here.
Yeah.
Good hand.
Chris here now taking a pretty substantial chip lead. 40 big blinds. Brad down to 9. Probably going to be getting his chips in soon to hopefully double up and get back on track. Blind levels are now up to 200, 400. No big blind ante for this heads-up tournament. Now, for those of you in the chat, I got 45 of you. Let us know if you would play sit and go. We haven't worked out the logistics of when, time, buy-in, but just let us know if you're interested in playing this 9-person sit and go, giving those players an option to have it last longer. Depending on when we do it and the price point, maybe streaming the sit and go or the sit and go. Just depends.
I
So
would like it.
go ahead and just say, give us a thumbs up, thumbs down.
I mean, I streamed a $20 sit and go to test to train some people on
That's
Action Tracker.
It's not a horrible idea.
It was fun. It was a $20 rebuy sit and go. I think we had like $1,000 in the prize pool because they just kept firing at it.
All right, Brad here with just queen high. Does turn the best hand, but Chris would need a 6. Gonna bet half pot here as a bluff. Brad's definitely not folding. Gonna need to pick up some chips here.
Just needs that gutter ball. He needs a 6 to come out. Does not get it. He does take up bottom pair though.
Both players just check back where Brad's gonna pick up some chips.
Gets 800. Picks up a
Up
couple.
to about 11 big blinds. Yeah, 11 big blinds or so, give or take. 40. We had 49 viewers here for a impromptu heads up tournament this Saturday afternoon, 3:30. And again, for those of you tuning into the chat, in about 2.5 hours, is it all the way down there? Yeah.
Yep.
Within 2.5 hours, running a 5-5-10 match stack live stream. Gonna have German moneymaker OFC, Faker Kyle, Krolo Lucifer playing J-Rock Habib. Three players making their Poker House live stream debut in a few hours for the 5-5-10 matches stack. Min buy-in 1.5K, 3K max initial buy-in.
It's hard to get a king. Ruben forgot the 1 chip rule.
We had 800 going into this pot here. Both the players with the king. Brad having Chris out pipped by 1. 8-6 jack board, 2 diamonds. Chris still with the Brad with the
Yeah, it's going to be a chop.
yeah, gonna be a chop.
Unless a tray or a deuce comes out.
See if someone's gonna just try and take a stab here at any point. 5 with diamonds. Chop pot. Check, check.
They say king high and nobody's excited to show. The kicker doesn't play. So Ruben's like, all right, let's chop this up.
So no players losing. Anybody can have my number. I have DFW has half of DFW Poker has my number now. So fill out that form that I posted. Scroll up a little bit if you're interested in playing.
I am excited we're working on that website, and then I'll have a Poker House email address I can give out.
I got your text, Tiny. I already did it.
What'd you do?
Well, I locked up a seat for Poker Monkey for Monday.
Oh yeah, we got you.
Yeah, I got the list going.
Is that a 1-2 with a 500?
Yes.
All right.
Just a pair of 4, no flush. Yeah, touche, Chris. I don't want to give any spoiler alerts.
Just a pair of 4s, no flush. I don't get it.
Maybe that last hand. But you and I are both doing stuff right now. So, Chris Lindsay, suited connectors here. I've talked about
Luke,
this.
it's tomorrow if you want to play. It's also tomorrow.
It's also tomorrow and next Saturday and Sunday. So hit up
Yeah.
Eric Anderson.
Or come sign up.
Yeah, I like the check here pre-flop from Chris. Some people think these, this is the hand you can definitely raise call with, limp call with. Brad knowing 4 high not good. They're going to barrel the flop with a queen 10 board 2 spades and take down that pot.
Hit that thumbs up button. It's easy and free.
Luke Skywalker. I am not your father, but if you want to play anything,
$700 heads up tournament.
so bring it up. If you want to play anything, scroll up, fill out the form to play live streams, or just give me your contact information. So, Chris here with a suited king.
Do you mind giving me an exact count? You have 4,000.
5,353.
Oops.
47 bucks.
Okay, good. That's a
Yeah.
good. Uh-oh, good.
No, they are.
And a min raise here with a suited king.
So Brad made quite a.
See, yeah. Starts at noon? Mm-hmm. Yeah, noon.
New tournament.
All right, feeling good about the skin. No technical difficulties.
Yeah, there will be no difficulties. Spoiler, there will be no difficulties with this skin.
Okay, good. What the hell happened yesterday?
I think it was a Streamlabs thing. Because the skin kept, the GFX kept working. I didn't restart GFX, I restarted Streamlabs.
Makes sense.
So we didn't lose any hands on the recording.
And what happened on Thursday then?
YouTube error. Because I had to restart the YouTube stuff.
That's weird. Anyway.
There's a lot of variables that go into streaming,
Yeah.
and a lot of things that can go wrong between the GFX, the Streamlabs, the YouTube. There's a lot of problems that can happen.
Just for the record, for those of you in the chat, we do this for you. It is not easy on our side for production,
Yeah.
commentating, and running Action Tracker. If you guys want a part-time job wanting to learn how to run Action Tracker, contact Eric or I.
Hit me up. I'm looking for good people.
We're looking for good people.
Oh, okay.
Pays decent, may give you some free time. I don't know, whatever. Text us over.
Yeah, we don't know. We can work something out.
We can work. If you didn't know by now,
Hey.
that's me. They call me the Texas Oprah. I give away free merchandise.
You haven't given
free-
out anything today.
You know what? You're right. I'm going to give everybody,
Here.
for tuning into a random, I'm going to give you guys 2,000 points. Whoops, sorry about
Hold
that.
that back over here. Oh,
Oh,
what we gotta do? I'll grab it. There
yeah,
you got
thanks. Got it. Sorry about
it.
that.
All right.
All right. Apologies. That is
Oh,
our-
this is gonna be a big one. Ace 10 versus King 10. I mean, it feels like a big one.
All right. 2,000 points.
Get them. All right. Oh, they can't even see it.
What? Oh, damn it. Sorry.
You're still on Texas Oprah.
Yeah, I'm still on Texas Oprah. My bad. I just gave away free points.
So Brad checks. Chris checks behind. Being
Unlimited
sneaky with that
bankroll.
top pair. Oh, no problem. Come in. I got an unlimited bankroll for you.
Yeah. Chris here with top pair. Gonna make the call. Brad in trouble here. Got a pot-sized bet here. Not willing to give up the rest of his text because I think at that point he's gonna have to like just rip it all in.
Right.
SPR is
It would be a tough
One to
call,
one,
but
pretty
I
much.
think Chris does it with top pair, or do you just fold?
I
That's a
would probably,
super tough call
I would probably call.
with just top pair when the guy checks the flop.
Yeah.
I think checking the flop was key for Chris in that hand.
And he probably knows, again, he has a club in his hand, so it's going to reduce some potential club flush draws that Brad would have. Now, Brad did have the ace of clubs, so it was
Better
blocking
flush draw, yeah.
the nut flush draw. It was going to be tough for Brad to have clubs, or less likely for Brad to have two club holdings. And again, with it being heads up, you see anything can happen. So, again, in about 2 hours, a little over 2 hours, we will be starting our Saturday 5-5-10 match of stack live stream. Fun lineup, new players playing, taking their shot at 5-5-10. 1.5 min buy-in, 3K max buy-in. Back to the action here. Hand 46 heads up. Blinds 200, 400. Brad gonna make the call. Chris just gonna check his option. Ace Jack 3 board. Chris with King High. Brad with the middle pair. Half pot size bet by Chris on the flop. Snap call by Brad. After the snap call, I would imagine, unless King comes up, never mind, that he was just going to check turn.
Yeah.
But
What does the snap call look like? Does it look like strength or weakness?
it can be a combo. So
Player dependent.
Player dependent. Either A, you hit a piece of the board, a decent board of the board, A, or you have a lot of times it's a draw.
A big draw.
Yeah, like a flush draw,
Right.
open-ended type thing. So with him snap calling there, he definitely representing potentially a
Second
weak
pair.
ace. Yeah, a weak ace. It's not a very draw
Probably
heavy
not
board.
an ace. Probably,
Yeah.
probably the ace. You think about how do I extract more chips.
Yeah.
But second pair, that's a call. Snap
Yeah.
call. I'm never folding second pair.
Yeah, heads up.
Don't have to think about it.
Yeah, after just a call and an option check pre-flop. Again, player dependent. When I make decisions at the table, whether if I'm raising, checking, or calling, I try to take the same amount of time. I try to be very deliberate in my actions. That's what I said. Like I've talked about when I play, I try to play it. No one plays GTO, right? We talk about that as a way to play. There's no such thing as it because you're not a computer. You're not going to make computer type decisions. But with that being said, I try to make all my decisions deliberate. A and B, my sizings, I keep them consistent. So if I'm going to raise 3x with aces, I'm also going to raise 3x with 7-8 suited.
And when I change my sizing, it's not dependent on my cards. It's
more
more dependent on where the stack sizes are, where the players are,
Chris, here
who
gonna
the
fold.
players are.
So sometimes I'll use a bigger sizing. Like if I have another, if I flop bottom or second set on an ace high board multi-way, I'll bet small on the flop and then turn. I'll overbet turn because I know one of these players is going to
Yep.
be
One of them is
sticking.
coming along.
Yeah, depending on how coordinated and what
Yep.
the board is, right? If it's just ace high, I'll overbet pot 1.2x on the turn because I know the specific player is never going to fold an ace here. And so when he calls, I know he has an ace at minimum, depending if it's a draw heavy board. And on the river, I may go for value for 60%, 2/3 pot, depending on the player. Now, if it's a player that's a little tighter, I may bet 40% versus
You gotta
over pot.
give them a little kiss before you.
Yeah, 40 to 60% on the turn on a hand like that versus overbetting pot. So when I bet or when I make decisions, it's not necessarily contingent on my hand holding. It's based off board texture and player profile of the player.
Watch the big blind. We went from 43. Oh, wait. Let me do it again. Because the blinds just went up to 3 and 6. So I have to update the blinds,
Yeah.
and then I pull up the chip stack size again.
Now, I really like your idea. We talked about turning this into the production booth and
Yes.
having
Yep.
commentary somewhere else. We got some neat stuff coming up here for the live stream. Already made some upgrades to the lights. Going to be getting more lights, correct?
I already ordered
Ordering, so we're going to have a whole no slew of lights coming up.
a plethora.
Plethora of lights. Heaps of lights. Jack high board.
Oh.
Brad flopping middle pair. Chris with bottom pair. Backdoor spade draw as well.
They both have a backdoor straight.
He's probably going to... He's going to rip and call.
Ooh, Brad snapped it off quickly with second pair.
He didn't have enough big blinds.
All right.
Oh, wow.
Now they swapped each other's outs. Brad needs a 9 for a straight. Chris needs an 8 or a 5. Doesn't
Two of
get it.
spades. Brad with the double up here. Chris still in a commanding lead, though. 24 big blinds to 8 big blinds. In decent spot.
Yeah, Brad said I'm back in it. He wasn't out the door, but he could see it.
One more double, we'll be heads up. Ready for my double.
Brad with queen 10 in the big blind.
Like that.
Chris with a 9-7. I like the 9-7. I would rather have it suited, but you can't be choosy when you're playing heads up. He just rips in queen 10.
It's a good enough hand to see with 8 big blinds. Has enough decent post flop equity.
I was talking to Chris about this afterwards, where when Brad was so short, those are the guys when I'm playing not heads up specifically, but when I'm in a tournament and I see somebody short, I'm careful to raise, because if he jams in, if I'm raising light, I just have to forfeit my chips. Whereas, if he goes all in, and I might be forced to call with pot odds, so I'm really conscious of what the other person's stack was. And I was thinking he had like 5 big blinds. He actually had 8, which is a different. Oh wow, right here, Chris just flops it. 6, 8, 10. He's got the 7,
joint
9.
queen.
Flops a joint. Brad's gonna stab at it. Chris is gonna check twice.
Could come in for a raise here. Just gonna call here. Maybe try to give him some rope. Brad could be putting Chris on a draw here.
Right. They just check,
Yeah.
and Brad shows queen high, thinking it might be good.
Right now, not much because
Yeah, it's like $4,000 right now.
yeah. But again, that's because players haven't played yet. So
Yeah, the tournament we're just getting started. Where are you out of, Luke? I think you're new to this chat. Yeah, Chris is saying, why didn't you bet you had queen high?
I'm ready. I need my double up to be even. Here it comes. I'm ready. Let's go. Here we go. Excited. Excitement in the air. Feel a little manic.
Yes, you can, Dina. Oh, not today. Sorry, I didn't continue to read your whole thing. You can come in and sign up for tomorrow.
Oh, I got it. What's wrong with me? Oh, thank you.
50 viewers in the chat for this impromptu streaming of this heads up tournament.
All right, let's go.
He does make the call.
Been raised with the internet hand. We can see your cards, Chris.
Computer hand.
The computer hand, internet hand. Yeah, the computer hand. Sorry. Jack.
Brad flops an open end.
Open ender.
7 or a queen.
Queen would be really bad for Chris in this spot.
Yeah, really bad.
It is. I mean, it's.
Chris has the best hand, but
Good call.
just
Yeah, I was in good shape there. I would give you my, I wanted to call that.
The call worked out.
Yeah. I figured you had 5s or 6s. That's what I was putting on. I can't wait to go back and look. Because I put my people's bets after you play with us a while, you can sort of put them on what they probably have.
Yeah.
Like Brad.
yeah. Brad's putting him on the pair of 5s or pair of 6s. Chris actually had the queen 7 off.
I got a runner. Alright. I'm not sure what that means.
Seats open, Chris.
Brad, for the 3rd time in this 53 hands, has pocket 10s.
And definitely gonna see Chris here gonna defend with a queen, with a suited queen. Maybe not.
You won't guess what they are.
2 jacks.
No, it's the same cards.
Yeah.
Why did I not guess that? 10s every time. 10s.
It's sort of a dangerous hand, someone's got 2 overs.
Yeah.
I mean, they're joking that it's every time, but it was like
Heads up though.
out of 53 times, he's gotten them 3 times. That's like
Probably gonna be
6%.
at 8%,
Suited Broadway cards for Brad here. Chris with middling connectors. Gonna min click it. I wonder if Brad's gonna just rip it. It's got what? 6.4. Just over 10 big blinds, 11 big blinds.
I do in a little bit go in there and I modify the skin so it shows the blinds also.
No, gonna min raise here. Essentially committing his stack.
Yeah, he wants a call right now.
All yours.
Trying to see if those are purple.
Chris says, how much do you have left? And Brad says it's all yours.
Yeah, with the table talk. We don't know, Robert. We were literally just talking on the fly.
We're making it up as we go along.
That's what we do here, baby.
$100, yeah, we improvise,
all
adapt,
different-
and overcome.
Yeah, we can definitely. I think that's a really good price point. $100, $200.
$100 sit and go. I would
100?
do whatever the players want to do. So if we have $100 sit and goes, I like that. If we have
Go 130. 130 with 30 going to. What's that? Is the juice too high?
the juice is too high for a sit and go. I would
120?
go like 120.
120
Yep.
with 100 going to the prize pool.
Yep.
What do you think about that? Just making up on the fly. 120 for a 9-person sit and go.
I also like 100. Same thing, 80-20.
Okay.
But 100 is just easier to spend.
Yeah.
Re-entries for like 6 levels or something.
Yeah.
That's what I've been waiting on. If I get the blinds up, just get close.
Just a little food for thought. We literally just made up on the fly like 30 minutes ago. So
We're still making it up.
we're still making it up. We'll talk about it post stream tomorrow. Oh, since you filled in for me last week, you need me to run Action Tracker tomorrow. But that means you would have to not work for 3 days, and I don't think you can go.
Oh God, I can't not work for 3 days. It's hard enough not working for 2 days.
I know.
I'm sitting at home like, oh, it's 10 a.m. and I'm so bored.
Tammy's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm working on Canva." And
Yeah.
she's like, "I think you're not supposed to be working." I'm like, "I'm not. I'm just on Canva." She's like, "What are you doing on Canva?"
Chris
Like,
rips it in and Brad folds his deuce 4. It's a good bet by Chris. He's got 2 overs to most of Brad's holdings.
And we'll figure out the structure, buying what goes to the juice. Sometimes
We got 10 apiece. I'm gonna be ready to play poker.
maybe we should put a feeler on on social media.
We can put it out there.
If you're interested in
$100 sit and goes. We can also put it on Atlas as an interest list.
Yeah.
And as soon as we have 9 people sign up,
It's funny because like on the internet you can just sign up for the sit and go, and obviously you're on the internet, so like they'll fill up whenever they fill
Yep.
up. But it's harder for like a 9-person live sit and go.
yeah,
Without
you sign
scheduling.
up and then you have to get 9 people here.
Right.
I used to do that a lot when I was running the tour across the country, and we had 500 people in the convention center to play poker. As people would bust out, we would run 9-person $120 sit and goes to get a satellite as a satellite.
You could do something like $100 sit and goes on Sunday starting at 2, and then we'll keep on going as
needed.
long as players want to play. I don't know.
Poker Monkey, hey, how many points you got, Poker Monkey?
What happened to your points, Poker Monkey? I've been throwing you under the bus for the.
Some of these guys are tilted.
Yeah, so a lot of these guys are tilted. Brad with the best here, bottom pair. Chris gonna make the fold here. I've never ever thrown Eric under the bus ever. I've only thrown Eric under the bus about that. I'm like, it's all Eric, and even people in the chat like
What happened to my points? Eric deleted them all. He wanted to start over, and
Alice and Rosalie and like other players like, it wasn't Ed. It wasn't Ed. It wasn't Ed. It was Eric.
That's awesome.
It was all Eric. So I was like,
so
yeah,
funny.
just for the record. All right.
See, because I was thinking, points are not worth anything.
Right.
Because we just give them away. Less than 9.5 million.
Oh my gosh. I had nothing to do with it. Poker Monkey, you should have seen my face in the
His
in the
eyes, he looked Caucasian for a second.
Yeah, in the booth.
like,
I was like, all right.
Can I say that? Is
Yeah,
that
you can.
offensive?
That's right. Queen high with the best hand here.
Did you say it's all white?
It's
all white.
Silly wabbit. All right,
It's all
Chris
white.
gonna
You can say that.
gonna barrel here. on this flop, can take it down.
I just gave out 2,000 points.
Yeah. Chip stacks now compress a little bit more than they were before. Again, partially that because Brad's won a few hands. Yeah. Levels have gone up from 200, 400 to 300, 600. Big blind ante not in play.
Yeah. If you hear the table talk, Brad said, I'm just waiting for these blinds to go up, so it's worth stealing.
Yeah.
And that's what he's been doing. He's been more aggressive in picking up the blinds and antes and closing the gap.
Yeah. Carmina, if you're wondering where you're at Poker House Dallas, Poker House Live.
Yeah.
Again,
Dallas, Texas.
Dallas, Texas. This is an impromptu stream. Yeah. We had some tech. I've said that a number of times at the beginning. Yeah. I've had a number of new significant viewers join the chat.
Got over 60 in the chat right now.
Yeah.
If you're
what do you guys think about this time slot for streaming? We're streaming from 5 to. We're going to be streaming on a 5-5-10. So I'll pull this up, Carmino, just real quick, just to see what we got going on in literally in 2 hours. 5-5-10 to match the stack. Got German moneymaker OFC Fabi Faker making his live stream debut. Kyle Wingard making his 5-5-10 live stream debut. Got Krola Lucifer making his debut. Danny Marks coming in back. Habib coming back. Fun group of players. Some of the same players from last night. Again, had some tech difficulties with the graphics yesterday. I wanted to make sure that didn't happen again, so we're gonna.
The best way to test, the only way to test is to run a stream.
Yeah, so we're gonna. That's what we're doing here. So far, so good. Brad with the best hand, king high here.
We got Ruben in the box, Iron Man. He's gonna do the entire tournament.
Oh, I guess I'll fold. Damn.
Chris gets a bluff through with queen high, makes Brad fold the king. So how aggressive should you be?
Heads up.
Heads up. Like more?
I'm actually more aggressive heads up. I'm very aggressive. So 9-handed, I'm aggressive. 6-handed, I'm more aggressive. Short-handed, less than 6, I'm really aggressive.
Then we can get heads up.
I'm not just blasting the blast though, but like it's like.
So anyway, I started blasting.
Yeah.
If you saw that Danny DeVito meme. Q5 against Q3. Brad limps in. Chris checks behind.
600.
Snap bet there after a check from Chris.
I think Brad expects Chris to raise if he has an ace. So when the ace hits, he knows Brad doesn't. He knows Chris doesn't have it. So it's an easy raise.
Oh, sorry.
Spoiler.
Sorry.
Spoiler.
Didn't mean to do that.
All right, guys, we got 5 minutes left of the stream.
Sorry.
So,
well,
this guy.
That will not happen later.
It can't happen later.
Yeah.
Rewind.
The line structure gets a little bit crazy.
It does. This tournament will probably last about 5 more minutes.
Yeah. Both players with some strong hands heads up.
Got the 4-4 against the ace-10.
A min raise here by Chris.
One time. Just one time. One time.
Just going to make the call here. Small pair.
I want to raise all in if I'm Brad here. Get all my money in when I know I'm ahead.
Now, he is double blocking straight. This is a really good board for him.
It's a great board, especially if Chris raises pre-flop.
Ace of diamonds here.
Dang it. You should have jammed it, Brad.
Chris may have called. 1,000.
Well, he would have called ace-10, you know, because Brad didn't have enough to scare him off. But he would have gotten in with the best hand, and Chris would have sucked out.
King of diamonds here.
Now, Chris has the best hand here.
Yeah, he's got to think he's got the best hand. Let's see if he's going to try to bet for value.
There's 4,400 in the pot.
1.5 to 2.5.
Yeah, I'd go like 1,000. Like 1,200, 2 big blinds. Just trying, yeah, good. Ooh, okay.
Right in the middle. I said 1.5,
Yeah.
2.5. Oh, Brad's going to just make the call. Oh,
No, he's not calling.
It looked like he was grabbing some.
He's got 5th pair.
Yeah, we need to figure out why the audio and the video aren't synced.
That is a GFX problem.
Africa. You gonna email Australia?
Well, he knows about it. There's a way to sync it,
You know?
but it's like a slider where you can
I'm gonna fold the winner.
speed it up or slow it down, and I just haven't spent the time figuring it out.
All right. To-do list.
Figure it out.
No, I have a to-do list
All right.
because now that the stream is picking up in popularity, we have too much stuff.
A lot of time, and it's always been like that. Most of the time, you can't tell because they don't do a lot of talking on a cash game.